I'm John McPherson, Principal Broker on the Portland team with Premier Property Group. In April, in comparison with last year in Portland, Oregon, single-family sales prices on average were $714,000. That's up 10.2% since last year. The average residential real estate sales price was $670,000. That's up 12.3% since last year, while the average condo and townhouse sales price was $489,000. That's up 18.8% since last year. Houses are selling even faster now. Interest rates have risen. They've risen quite a bit over the past couple of months. But what's interesting to note is it took only 23 days on average for the average seller to accept an offer on their single-family residence in Portland, Oregon. In comparison with the past approximately 5 years, that's the absolute fastest for any given month on average that it took for sellers to accept offers. To compare it to the fastest up to date, up until this time, before April, it was 25 days. That was last June. We're talking about June of 2021. Before that, for example, in April, it would take somewhere around 40 days or more, sometimes 55 or 60 days on average for sellers to accept offers. It's down to, like I said, 23 days on average for sellers to accept offers. Things are just not sitting on the market at all very long. Sales prices all around Portland, that includes Portland, Gresham, Lake Oswego, West Lynn, Oregon City, Beaverton, so on and so forth, all saw appreciation during the past year. As of April of 2022, in comparison with last year in April, the rates of appreciation in some areas of town reached over 20%. The rate of appreciation in Beaverton and Hillsborough, for example, both were up over 16%, with the average single-family sales prices in both Hillsborough and in Beaverton over $600,000. In Northwest Portland and also Lake Oswego and West Lynn, the average single-family sales price was over $1 million. In South and Southwest Portland, the average single-family sales price was just a touch over $900,000. To compare that to the rest of the nation, the rates of appreciation in the mid-Atlantic states, the Midwest, and the Northeast were all between about 11 and 13.5%. In the southern states, in a lot of cities, there were rates of appreciation well over 20%, and in some cases over 30%. For example, in the case of San Diego and in Phoenix, the rates of appreciation were very high, as they were also in Miami, Tampa, Charlotte, so on and so forth. Seattle saw rates of appreciation of almost 25%. Portland's almost at 18%. All these numbers, as concerns the prices around the country, come from Case-Shiller. That's a Standard & Poor index for cities around the country. That's a repeat sales index. That measures the resale of existing single-family residences all around the country. This is super important for both buyers and sellers to know. The average 30-year fixed-rate mortgage around the U.S., according to the U.S. Fed this week, is up 1.1% since 7 weeks ago. That's a huge increase. If you were pre-approved for $714,000 7 weeks ago, currently you would probably qualify for around $628,000. Your purchasing power is down about 12.1% due to interest rate increases alone. So hypothetically, as a seller, let's say you got an offer that you're willing to accept from someone using a loan, a conventional loan, 5% down, and let's say the sales price you agreed to was $660,000. Now let's say this person qualified 7 weeks ago for $715,000. Well, it seems like they should have enough money to be able to complete the purchase. Their offer was, say, $20,000 or $30,000 better than the next best offer, which was a cash offer, and you go ahead and accept this offer at $660,000. It might be the case that they would qualify currently for only $630,000 though. My advice to anyone in this market, whether you're a buyer or a seller, get the pre-approval letter refreshed just to make sure that the buyer actually has the money to be able to complete the purchase. Interest rates have risen quickly, and this is what it's doing to purchasing power, which, due to interest rate increases over the past 7 weeks alone, buyers' purchasing power for buyers using a loan with approximately 5% down has decreased by over 12%. I'm John McPherson, Principal Broker on the Portland team with Premier Property Group. Call me anytime about your real estate related plans or to talk about Portland's real estate market.